We've got our first look at NHL 25 with the release of the reveal trailer, and in this video, we are going to break down frame by frame everything that you might have missed. We're also going to cover all of the new features, the release dates, as well as the new cover athlete, or athletes. So let's start right off the top. Our cover athletes for NHL 25 will be Quinn Jack and Luke Hughes, marking the first time in EA Sports history that siblings will grace the cover of a video game. Now, the biggest feature for NHL 25 is definitely the Ice Cube gameplay system. This is broken down into 3 separate tiers. Let's start first with next-gen vision control. The best way to show how much this is going to actually change the game is by showing you an example of NHL 24. In prior NHL games, if you wanted to walk the blue line, you would just skate left and right towards the boards. And when using vision control, you would literally just put your back towards the boards and you could skate backwards with it, but your entire body and the puck was completely open to the play. In NHL 25, the new Ice Cube system will allow you to make multiple maneuvers and keep your body square to the net while using vision control. As you can see in this very short clip right here, Quinn Hughes controlling the puck, opens his skates up, but keeps his body to the net, allowing him to go left and right and cross over very quickly. The next pillar of the new Ice Cube gameplay system is Empowered AI, which is a completely overhauled AI player system that heightens CPU skaters' awareness of other players and positioning on the ice. And this will directly fix one of the biggest complaints from NHL 24, your AI players just simply not fighting to get open when you're in the offensive zone. A very high level of how this will actually work is that when your AI player in the offensive zone is covered by a defenseman and you are working to cycle the puck around the zone, your players will actually read off of your motions and where you're going and try to move into soft spots on the ice, which opens up a ton of more offensive abilities than we've seen in prior games. We also get our first look at the Utah Hockey Club's uniforms in-game, as well as a new backhand between the legs deke possibly. Some more detailed shots of the home and away uniforms were also released featuring Clayton Keller, so it looks like they will be in the game at launch. And the last part of the Ice Cube gameplay system is reactive actions. It's a series of brand new animations making skaters more responsive in critical situations, giving them more urgency and ultimately more reliability during plays. Whether this is avoiding collisions or offering authentic visual reactions for players to recognize and take advantage of those high action moments. One of the more frustrating parts of the NHL franchise over the past few years has been simply just running into your own players when trying to enter the zone or trying to get back on the back check. NHL 25 hopes to alleviate a lot of those issues with these new reactive animations that will have players essentially getting out of the way of themselves. Now, on the offensive side of things, we've got all new skill-based one-timers being added to NHL 25. Now, how these will work is you will be rewarded for finding a player that is in a opportune spot to handle a one-timer, and by timing it correctly, you will get a massive boost on power and accuracy when it comes to those shots. Ever since NHL 23, the one-timer has been all but removed from the offensive side of things in gameplay. NHL 25 looks to revive that aspect of offense in the game. This is all going to lead to a much different feel when controlling the play in the offensive zone, specifically the new vision control and how that is going to operate, because now you can keep your body to the net, which will open up new passing lanes and plays that were simply just not in the game in prior years. Now, a lot of people are going to point out to the prior abuse of the left trigger or L2 in prior games. Think of it more as a deliberate way to skate left and right and make creativity on offense more east and west than just the north-south game that we've had for quite some time. Now, it will be interesting to see once the community gets their hands on NHL 25 and what we're able to do with the puck using the new vision control, but I'm actually more excited to see the return of one-timers simply because even in spaces where a one-timer was definitely the correct move in NHL 23 and 24, the goalie would just make a desperation save and you would find that more often than not, a one-timer, which was the correct play, just wouldn't go in. The new skill-based element of it is also interesting. We'll have to see how easy or difficult it is to pull off an effective one-timer. Now, the presentation in NHL 25 is also getting an update, starting first with the Grudge Match. Now, the all-new Grudge Match system will track the history of matchups between teams across all major online and offline modes in NHL 25 to add more context, stakes, and heat to showdowns with your rival. So, for example, anytime that you match up with me in Hockey Ultimate Team, you will actually have an animation and little infographic that's gonna go over your prior matchups against one another, which is just like absolutely the worst for me, but still kind of cool. Create some rivalries online against players that you might not have paid attention to in prior games. The other big update to presentation is next-gen characters. So being added to the NHL franchise is the introduction of Sapien technology. Using the power of the Frostbite engine on next-gen consoles, all of NHL 25's in-game players have received a serious virtual overhaul. That includes new cloth wrap and strand hair updates that deliver authentic, lifelike models. Now, every year they talk about new graphics and things looking super improved. I gotta be honest with you, once you guys see this, I think you'll be impressed. Which also leads us into one of the most asked questions about the NHL franchise, and that's which console is the game going to be released on? I apologize, there is no PC port this year, but there is no PS4 or Xbox One. That's right, NHL 25 is only going to be released on the Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5. I gotta be honest with you, this is a welcome change simply because they get to take advantage of the more powerful hardware. Over the last few years, I feel like, especially when it comes to graphics and other things like that, the game has been really held back by just having to make them accessible on the older console. So if you've been holding off the upgrade to a next-gen system, if you want to play NHL 25, you're going to need a PS5 or Xbox Series X or S. Now, what about Hockey Ultimate Team? After 5 straight years, we finally have a new mode. The all-new Hut Wildcard mode will implement unique rule sets per competition cycle, keeping players on their toes and ready to adapt with each and every cycle. Details about the mode have not been released, but make sure you stay tuned to the channel for all that. On top of that, all of the XP earned in squad battles, rivals, and wildcard are now combined into a single progression path, meaning that every Hut mode rewards you the same no matter where you play. I mean, let's go. Again, nothing was really talked about in the reveal trailer or the press release, but just judging by that little snippet, the fact that we can actually just play Hut the way that we want and work towards rewards in a universal path, meaning no more squad battles on rookie, just continually doing the same motion over and over again to get an objective done. If that's done correctly, that's a massive win. It looks like franchise players are also getting some love in NHL 25. It was announced that franchise mode gets a revamp in NHL 25, starting with the Franchise Hub. Streamlined navigation gives players access to new, relevant, and easy-to-digest information, with more to be revealed in the upcoming months prior to launch. Now, the Franchise Mode Hub hasn't really been changed in years, so it is nice to see that getting completely reworked. And lastly, for World of Chell, we're getting live events. EA mentioned get ready for all new ways to play through an expanded World of Chell live event schedule. And again, they're going to keep us up to date with future deep dives that will be released closer to launch. Speaking of launch, the worldwide release for NHL 25 will be Friday, October 4th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. However, this year, you can get early access up to 7 days earlier, meaning that you can play NHL 25 on Friday, September 27th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, by purchasing the standard edition of the game, you are going to receive 500 NHL points, which you could use in the Hockey Ultimate Team store, a Hut NHL player pack, 2 World of Chell Battle Pass XP boosts, and an immediate reward in NHL 24 with the digital pre-order, with the choice of Jack Quinn or Luke Hughes at 99 overall. Now, the deluxe edition, that is going to give you the aforementioned 7-day early access to the game, 4,600 NHL points, a Hut NHL player pack, a Hut Hockey is Family objective choice pack, a Hut cover athlete choice pack, a Hut wildcard starter choice pack, a World of Chell Battle Pass XP boost, as well as the World of Chell Season 1 Premium Battle Pass, exclusive World of Chell player sets, and the immediate rewards in NHL 24 with the choice of Jack, Quinn, or Luke Hughes at 99 overall. Now, if you pre-order the Deluxe Edition before September 13th, you will also receive a Hut Hughes Brothers Choice Pack, which comes in at an 84 overall, on top of all of the Deluxe Edition content that you would receive in the Deluxe Edition of the game. So again, not a very long reveal trailer, but the biggest takeaways for me is, one, the game is no longer on old-gen consoles, a shift in some of the gameplay mechanics that looks to reward more creativity in the game, and I gotta say, I can't believe we're getting a new mode in Hockey Ultimate Team. Now, obviously, we can't come to a conclusion just based on this small trailer, and if you've been watching my channel, we've learned from getting too hyped over the reveal trailers. That being said, let me know in the comments section down below what you're most intrigued by heading into NHL 25, and as always, make sure you're subscribed to the channel for the most up-to-date news, tips, and info for NHL 25. The new game is almost upon us.